The transfer window is finally coming to an end, and now we can focus on the football. That's the important thing. To be fair, I'm feeling a bit transferred out at this point in time. There's been numerous reports, stories, breaking news, signings after signings after signings. And after all of this, I feel like we now have a squad and a team that is ready to start fulfilling objectives for this season. To give you guys a heads up, I'm actually going to the game tomorrow. It's been way too long. I had to give up my season ticket, of course, to focus on the channel, but I'm hoping that in this season in particular, I can start going back to the games regularly again, because it's never the same watching it from a screen. And I've been like a season ticket holder for like over 15 years, so a very long time. But tomorrow, I'm really excited to hopefully see PALMER making his debut at Stamford Bridge. I'm looking forward to seeing Enzo, Caicedo and the boys live in the flesh as well too. But I think against Nottingham Forest, we're playing against an opposition that we need to respect tomorrow. Now, they've played 3 games this season, 2 very difficult away games against Arsenal and Man United. They beat Sheffield United 2-1, but in those away performances, they really tested and pushed Arsenal and United all the way to their limits. When they play us tomorrow at 3 PM, they're going to feel like they are owed a giant killing. And one thing that we have struggled against are these types of teams that sit back and park the bus. Against Wimbledon, we struggle to break them down. For a team in Forest that will play happily without the ball. Against Arsenal, they had 21% possession. Against United, they had around 33%. And I'm hoping that Pochettino puts out an exciting attacking lineup, because we need goals. And scoring the first goal is always the most important thing, because you control the game. And Forest have threat in behind. They have the counter-attacking threat of a Gibbs White that plays beautiful line-breaking passes and balls in behind. Super creative player. And they have one of the most informed strikers of this calendar year in our Yinis. So Pochettino, let the boys cook and attack tomorrow, I beg. So my friends, in today's preview, I'll be going through the important points in the press conference, my predicted lineups and prediction right at the end. So hope you guys enjoy. Hit that like button if you guys are excited for tomorrow. But before we get into anything, today's video is brought to you by Parimatch. Football is now well and truly back underway. And what better way to kickstart a new season than with £40 in free bets? That's right, guys. Our friends at Parimatch UK are offering their new customers £40 in football free bets once you place your first £10 bet with them. Now, to claim this offer is very simple. Simply create a Parimatch account and opt into the promotion. Once you do that, then place a £10 bet on any football market of odds or even above within 7 days of opening your account. Full terms and conditions apply, with full links provided below in the description. So thank you to Parimatch UK for sponsoring today's video. So let's move on to the press conference. Let's start with the important things, and obviously, what was Pochettino's first words on us signing PALMER? As Poch said, the directors and the owners agreed to bring him in. So, of course, that confirms reports that came out a few days ago. And Pochettino says that, he fits our projects. If our owners and directors feel like he's the right signing, then he's a signing that I them back. Pochettino said that PALMER has signed for us expecting to play more. He has the quality, he has enormous potential, but he has to prove that he is better than his teammates. Pochettino is not giving anyone any favors, and I think his comments really confirm the facts even more that he doesn't have too much of a say when it comes to finding targets to improve the team. Because if Pochettino had his way, I think we'd have signed completely different players, a lot more experienced, a lot older players. And I remember reports about Mane being a target at the start of this window, and look how things have ended right now. Naturally, Pochettino was going to be asked, have we finally stopped making signings? And as Poch said, he's going to talk to the directors and owners again to see where their heads are at and what the play and plan is, but he is expecting no more additions to his squad. As he said, it's about focusing on the game tomorrow. And again, that's what I'm really looking forward to for myself. But to continue on with these quotes, with the amount of money that we've spent, Pochettino was asked that, we've spent in total more than what he spent with Tottenham in 11 windows. We spent close to I think over £1 billion right now. And as Pochettino said, I think we need to explain the realities. We sign, but we sell. It's about the net spend. It's an unfair comparison to use, and obviously it's a very cheap headline, and it's all about just riling up opposition fans, so we know how the press works. As he said, there is a balance the club is trying to get, but we feel very comfortable right now. It's about settling the squad. We wait for injuries and details to return back to normality. And I guess the final thing from the press conference that was big to me was around the future surrounding Conor Gallagher. Now, Pochettino made him the captain against Wimbledon. We've seen him use Cucurella, giving him minutes as well too, cup tying him, meaning that Man United got put off for making a move to sign him on loan. But in regards to Conor Gallagher, he has been literally playing in every single game at the start of this season. And as Pochettino said earlier in regards to Cole Palmer, you have to be better than your teammates. Pochettino said that Conor is consistent and can play across different positions. But in regards to his future, he doesn't have the answer. But if you are the best, then you'll play. And as he said, we are happy with him and he hopes that he gets to stay. So it seems like Gallagher's going to have like a massive call to make by the end of today. I don't necessarily blame him because he hasn't been given too much like assurances and faith about his long-term future here. Since he returned back to us last season, I think in every single window, we have publicly communicated the fact that we are happy to sell for the right price. So I guess this now is the perfect time to discuss predicted lineups for tomorrow. And my friends, I'm thinking about two different systems and lineups. And that's based on the fact that we don't know who's set to remain and who's set to leave. Now for my predicted lineup, I see it going two ways. I think, of course, we don't know yet if Conor Gallagher is going to leave, but it's looking very likely that this will be the outcome by the end of today. Ian Maatsen, I know Burnley at this point in time have had an offer accepted. Who knows if Maatsen decides to go back there though? He has to decide if that's where he sees his future. So I do feel like it could either go two ways with the lineup. We continue to use this 3-4-2-1, cool. Or hopefully now that the team have had more time training together, playing together, will Pochettino finally feel confident and reintroduce a 4-2-3-1 now that we've signed Cole Palmer. So I'm going to remain the eternal optimist that I am. And in my predicted lineup, I'm going for a 4-2-3-1. Now, this is the lineup that I'm hoping to see tomorrow, now that I'm going to be at the game. This lineup you're seeing of Jackson up front, alongside him, Raheem Sterling, Cole Palmer as the 10, Madueke on the right-hand side, midfield of Caicedo and Enzo pivot, and in defence, Ben, Colwill, Silva, Malo Gusto, and I've gone for Petrovic in goal, even though I think that it might be a very ambitious shout. There's big promise around Petrovic, and I don't see how ready he has to be. So I'm hoping that he plays so we can assess how he does to compare both the goalkeepers to see who could be the number one for throughout the season. But obviously, defence kind of speaks for itself. We don't have many strong options right now. Of course, Malo Gusto, I've liked this guy. But I'd like to see him maybe have the opportunity to combine with a right winger a lot more. I think at times like he brings us like great attacking threat, maintains possession in the final third, all that good stuff. And already he's got 2 assists this season. So I think that we have the perfect understudy for Reece James. But at the same time, when I watch Gusto play, I still even feel like there's another gear he could go to. I feel like he does all the right things when he has to. But he could even take on his opponent and do even more in the final third. So I feel like there's a lot more to cook up surrounding Malo Gusto. Ben, of course, he's our vice captain. We need leaders on the field and he's been decent. I feel like some of the criticism against him is hella force. Don't agree with it. And obviously Colwill. I want to see more of that Colwill-Caicedo type of relationship. They had a great understanding at Brighton. It's been slowly brewing so far this season. But I'm hoping tomorrow is the game that these guys fully like showcase that relationship, because I'm hoping we see that pivot of Caicedo and Enzo. I do feel like hopefully Pochettino will have more faith and trust in the team now that Caicedo has been there for a few weeks. Now that these guys have trained together a lot more. And again, it's a home game where we are going to have majority of the possession. So it's about scoring. I mean, if we don't score, we're wasting our time. And I just love how Caicedo plays these great type of line-breaking passes. And there was times against Luton Town where we weren't really finding him enough in that game. But then as things opened up more in the second half, you know, Caicedo was just attracting the press towards him and then playing great passes to find the midfield players in behind. And if you have Enzo Fernandez getting behind these things, of course, things are going to happen, right? Enzo scoring his first goal for us finally. He's showing more goal threat, and I always just felt like once he has the license to attack a bit more and be involved in every phase of midfield, and the assists most definitely will come as well too. I like to see how Enzo could potentially combine alongside our new signing in Cole Palmer. As we know, Palmer himself said that he's a number 10 at heart who obviously loves to play down the right hand side. I think having Cole Palmer in that 10 position would really suit the best qualities of his entire game, because he is comfortable drifting wide. And you know, like when he's drifting wide to support one of the fullbacks or support one of the wingers, he also has the additional quality of being able to create space for himself, beat a man by dropping his shoulder. Very crisp, very elegant touch with his left foot. But then this guy can also bring the creativity with balls in behinds, over the top, and of course shots outside the box and shooting range and ability. I do feel like this signing is a very smart, low-key type of signing where Palmer will definitely grow and grow over the seasons, but I do feel like he could be that complementary figure that we need alongside an Nkunku for this season. And I do think that out of all the targets we looked at, I feel like Palmer has so much untapped upside to his game, basically. And I'm really hoping that I get to see him play the 10 role tomorrow against Nottingham Forest to really just be that support option where he can even drop into midfield to make that midfield three with Enzo and Caicedo, where he can push further forward to support Nico Jackson, where he can support the wide guys as well too. Like when you have a player who's this complete across multiple positions, I feel like let them have the license to cook playing as 10s. Out wide, Raheem Sterling is on absolute fire. I hope it continues against Forest. I think momentum is on his side, and I feel like he's going to go into this game tomorrow still feeling a bit annoyed that he's not part of the national team. Now, I'm a bit baffled and surprised by Southgate deciding not to pick him, but maybe this is like a personal challenge to Sterling where it's like, okay, are you going to maintain this form now? Are we going to see more from you? That is the key thing right here. I think he should play on the right hand side, but in this team, I forced him to the left, even though I think Sterling's game suits the right hand side a lot more, because I feel like because of his low center of gravity and like dribbling ability, I think his style suits being a lot more direct compared to like cutting inside with his right foot, creating space that way. And you know, like the whole like momentum of your game is a bit different when you're playing like that. But if you've got Noni Madueke, who again, he's shown me a lot of things against Wimbledon. Now, I just like the fact that he was willing to take his man on and commit. That is the important thing, because my friends, I picked this lineup because I want us to get goals, and I do feel like we need to get goals in the first half instead of like hoping to win the game in the second half. But a lot of times we end up losing it or not getting the results we want. So I want to have momentum on our side. Pochettino, he can do the man management later in the second half. You know, bring on another midfield player or another defender if we have a lead or something to protect. But I think at home, an aggressive start is key. There's a lot of guys who are hungry to really show what they're about right now. And I think having as many of these great players playing together could hopefully give us the advantage against Nottingham Forest. And obviously to end things with Nico Jackson, when he comes on, he makes things happen. But he's not getting the service in areas that I feel he could get in a team like this, where he's going to have better support due to having an additional attacking presence in the final third with him. Like there's been a lot of times when Nico, I feel, is playing these sacrificial roles where he's dropping deeper, doing nice little flicks here and there to like play in wingers or co in behinds. And this is why I said that he definitely suffered without Nkunku, who had the quality to play closer with him. And that's how Nico is able to find himself in better goal-scoring situations during pre-season. And if you contrast now compared to pre-season, I feel like, you know, due to the team role he's been forced to play due to all these injuries, he isn't showing his best threat inside the box at times. But again, fingers crossed, we see this 4-2-3-1 tomorrow, because it's time now for Pochettino now to let these guys cook and take the shackles off the team. So my friends, that is my predicted lineup. Share your thoughts and opinions. Who do you want to see? And to end things with my prediction, because again, maybe I'm being too optimistic and I'll hold my hands up, but we have to be aggressive tomorrow. Against Nottingham Forest especially, when you have the first goals against them, they tend to struggle. So I think 3-1 is something I'm seeing. I think we have enough firepower in the team right now. And for some reason, I'm expecting maybe Nico to get a brace against them. I feel like Nico has a lot more untapped scoring potential. And with the lineup that I discussed, I feel like he'll finally show what he can do inside the box if he's put into these positions a lot more. And I do think that Sterling continues his goal scoring streak against Nottingham Forest, and I think now that it's been a successful window in summer, I think the team can fully focus now on playing football and winning on the field, because we've been winning outside the field for a very long time, my friends. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys tomorrow, some more videos.